Hi, welcome back to my channel. Once again, I forget to film an intro and I filmed the intro and the outro in the same day. But anyways, for this week's vlog, I am gonna be reading books that are part of a series. I want to continue all those series that I'm in the middle of and kind of complete them or get up to date or like get a little step further in them. So we have the lineup for this week, which is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the third book in the Powerless trilogy, but like the second novel because we have a little novella, but I count this as the third, you know. And the only one left I have of this series is now Fearless. There are sayings that there is gonna be a novella after Fearless, but I don't think I will continue it because honestly, depending on how Fearless goes, this is not my favorite series. We have Rebel Witch by Kristen Cisorelli. This is the second and final book in the Heartless Hunter duology. It is also called Crimson Moth in like the UK and other sides of the world, but for me, it's Heartless Hunter, and that would be a completed series. And then last we have Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. This is the second book in the Bright Falls series. The first one is Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and as I said, this is the second one. So we are gonna be reading this book. I will let you know my thoughts, my feelings, and I'll see you at the end.
Hi, I started Reckless yesterday. I am over 100 pages into this book and I am so far enjoying it. I don't know if it's gonna get worse or better, but so far I don't get why people hated this book or strongly disliked it. So far it is slapping because Kai is gonna be my undoing. The mouth on that man is astonishingly beautiful. And I am curious to see how this story is gonna go because it's reminding me, because I haven't finished the duology. We'll probably get to that in this video, but it's reminding me of Heartless Hunter, where I mean, there she was a witch and he was a witch hunter, and here it's not anything like that. But at the same time, I get like it's the storyline of you see both sides of the story and you do not know how they are gonna get over their stuff because they both did something, and I do not know how we are gonna move farther into the story and how it's gonna end. I mean, I don't even know how it's gonna go or how this one's gonna end, but I am curious to see how they are gonna fix what's broken between them because they both did their things, and I can see why Peyton is mad at Kai and why Kai is destroyed by Peyton. So like I don't know what's gonna happen, how they are gonna become together again because I think they are endgame. I think. But also we are getting another POV in this book, and if you have read it, then you know. But I don't want to say it because I don't know if it's a spoiler. But I am curious. And I saw someone on TikTok, I think her name is called Summer, and she said that she was that character's defender. And there was a part in his POV that broke my heart because I think the true villain in this story was their father. So I'm very curious to how this is gonna go, and I mean, I'm like 30% of the way through this book. I can't stop reading it. I only read like 20 pages yesterday, and today I am on page 134. Like I just need to keep going with this story because it is so freaking damn good. At least for me. I for now do not get the hate. But also I wanted to talk about some quotes because Kai Asser is he's just amazing. And I'm strolling here through my notes. I'm gonna put a picture of them because I don't wanna like put the book up. And in case you don't understand me, so it says every shred of ourselves sharing silent looks and whisper stories under willow trees only contributed to the slow death that was us. We were inevitably imperfect for each other. And that's what I mean. Like, I see both point of views because I think, since if you're powerless, I think they were a little doomed from the start. But I also love when he said, "Prove it. Hate me enough to make me want you. Ruin me." And he said, "I can feel the heat of her gaze pouring into mine, though I can only make out shadowy features in the moonlight, and I'm thankful for it. Thankful for the blessing that is being unable to behold her, because he is just so damn bad. He is so down bad. He is so down bad for her." And I think this is like my favorite part or quote for now. It is on page 87, and he says, "And then those ocean eyes crash into mine. It's electric, this look, though not like it used to be. The invisible tether between us is now charged with our past, our present, our future, with everything we once were and everything we now are. It's a hostile sort of harmony, both of us finally fully aware of what we are to each other. Nothing, just a shell of what was, what could have been. I used to welcome the idea of drowning in those blue eyes of hers. But now, seeing the disdain she stares me down with, I realize that drowning alone wasn't what I crave, but sinking together." Yeah. And then a little bit further in, he says, "If she is shadow, then I am flame. This girl is the very thing I can seem to escape, can seem to go anywhere without the remnants of her following. Where I am, she is, whether it's in the flesh or in the fragments of my mind. And where there is flame, there is always a shadow. She is mine inevitable. Why can't I pronounce that word? Anyway, you'll see it on the screen. But I am in chapter 19 now. I'm going to continue reading. I just want to give a quick update, but this is turning into me yapping for 5 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this update. You see, this is why I get four, like, not four. This is why I get an hour long reading blog, because I can't seem to stop talking. So I'll shut up. I'll probably update you tomorrow. I think I'll finish it by maybe Wednesday. I think. Let's hope.
Hi, let me scoot a little to the back because I have the fan at its highest because it's really freaking hot out. But I wanted to give a little update. It's currently the next day. I am about 60% through Reckless, and it is going. I heard this was like a filler book, and at first, like, I didn't get it, but now I get it. And like, I'm literally over halfway. It is very bingeable, but at first it was like a 4 star because I was loving Kai and everything, and then right now it's feeling like a 3 star because I just feel like it is going and going around, and we're getting nowhere. Like, we are not getting new information. We are just playing a game of cat and mouse between Kai and Peyton. That's it. And then throwing in there another POV. But it is literally just Kai and Peyton just missing each other. Not like missing each other, but like, oh, I catch you, you catch me, we catch each other, people catch us, and it is just like literally all over the place. And I just feel like I haven't gotten any new information regarding. I mean, yeah, we had a little bit of another piece of information, but it literally got like not thrown out, but that happened in a chapter, and then nothing. Like, I just feel like we are playing a cat and mouse game. And now I get why people really didn't like this one, and they were saying that this is a filler book. Also, I thought this was like a fun. Wait, like, I thought this was like 400 or more pages, and this is less than 400 pages. So it's I am 60% in, and I just feel like I'm just gonna keep reading about cat and mouse. A cat and a mouse. They switch places. Sometimes the mouse is Peyton and the cat is Kai, and sometimes Peyton is the cat and Kai is the mouse. Like, give me something. At first, Kai was giving me everything with that mouth, and now it's just like, Mm, I don't know. I mean, Powerless wasn't my favorite read. I gave it like a solid 4 star. I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything mind blowing, but this is just giving nothing. Kind of just want something else. Like, tell me something new. I don't know. I will let you know. 'Cause I do wanna film my reaction to the last chapter because I know there's probably gonna be a cliffhanger plot twist of some sorts. But right now, it is not given. It is not given. At first, Kai was given, and now it's mm, I don't know. My camera also has no battery, so I have to charge it. But I will update you. As you can see, I'm getting ready, so I don't know how much I'll be able to read today, because I am going a little bit of shopping, maybe browsing with my mom and my uncle. So I don't know how much I read today, but I kind of just want to finish it. Like, truly, I just want to get it done.
Hi, once again. I It is a lot later than my last update. I have almost 10% on this camera, but I have less than 100 pages left. I have like 70 something pages. I'm this far in, and I just want to first of all to share with you some quotes because Kai just the mouth on that man. Once again, he is amazing. And it is on page 262. He was talking about this ball that they had in Paralyze, and he was talking that he got drunk because Peyton was dancing with his brother, and he said, "You were giving him that look like you do." And she said, "What look?" And he freaking says, "I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. You never gave it to me." This man. And then he's telling like a storyline that we see in this book, but I don't want to like tell you specifics because I don't want to spoil it. But he says, "And I've never kissed a tongue like that wasn't hers. So why mine? Your spirit is familiar. You remind me of what could have been. In another life, I think that person could have grown up to be like you. What? You wanted her to be a criminal? I wanted her to be formidable, recklessly bold, powerful despite ability." And she told him, like, "I am none of those things." And he told her, you are much more than those things. You overestimate me. No, I just see you. I just see you. And then they are dancing once again, and she tells him that her dad used to make her step on his feet so they could dance, and he is telling him that because they are dancing, and he put her feet in his. And she told him, "He used to dance for me until I fell asleep." And he said, "Then we'll dance until you're dreaming of him." And knowing that particular storyline and what that would have been a hard thing to say or like to hear for Peyton. Yeah. Yep. I'm sorry. The camera was moving. And then later it says they are in a whole other place, but she told him, "Still contemplating drowning you, actually." And he said, "Oh, darling, I already am. And I'm begging you to let me breathe you in." I in that line I went feral. I I went barking. I went crazy. Cause what do you mean? Let me read you in. I am already drowning. So I think like literally my 3 stars are just for Kai. Like just Kai. Kai all over. So yeah. I am on chapter 39. I as I say, I have less than 100 pages left, so I'm curious to how this gonna go. But aside from Kai, it is still giving nothing. So thing hasn't changed. It just honestly, my 3 stars will be just for Kai because that man, he just opens his mouth and it is just poems. He is just saying poetry. He's writing sonnets. He is making me crawl out of my skin to have someone say those things to me. I hate when fictional men aren't real. I hate when fictional men aren't real. But my camera is at 9%, so I'm gonna shut up. I need to charge it so I can feel my last thoughts on this book. Tell me why Kai is like literally the most romantic and poetic man I have ever read about. Like, he is such a great fictional man. And I wish he wasn't fictional because what do you mean no one will ever say the words that he says to Peyton to me? Like, I love this part on page 354. He says, "Tell me you hate me, and I'll still count every heartbeat, every freckle, every shiver of your body if only you say it with a smile. I may be a monster, but if you cut me, I'll bleed. And if you break my heart, Pay, you'll break me. So, if even a sliver of your soul longs for mine, I'll spend the rest of my life trying to deserve it." Lauren Roberts, you knew what you did when you wrote this, man. You knew what you did, and I have less than 20 pages to go, and I am curious to how it's gonna go because we got a little something, and I do not know what is gonna happen now. I am very curious to how this is gonna end, so the third book can like close the story. Why the hell did I just do this? Anyways, I am gonna finish this thing because I'm gonna finish it today. Anyways, I literally have to keep reading, so we'll see you when I finish this thing. I have literally 2 pages before I go to the last chapter, so let's read this last couple pages to get there. No, 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 no. Don't tell me that's gonna happen. Don't tell me that's gonna happen. Wait. What the hell? Oh, like, what do you mean? This. Wait, how am I gonna show you this without like spoiling? This is the epilogue, and oh, I'm literally in my head like, what the hell? What the hell? What the henny? What? What do you mean? How is that justified? How is that gonna be justified? Because in my head, that doesn't make sense for what she did, and that is her punishment. That does not make sense. Why will he do that? Let's read the last chapter, because what the hell? We have finished Reckless, the second or third book in the Powerless trilogy. This is like the second full book. We also had the powerful novella. I am between like a 2.5 to a 3 star. I'll probably put the rating like somewhere up here. This was like this essentially was nothing. Like, it gave me nothing aside from Kai and the romantic side of him, the way he literally just spoke poetry and sonnets and songs and everything. We literally did not get anything. Like, just a little tiny bit of information that we did not do anything with throughout the story. We did not get like literally anything that helped move the story. And then, not the epilogue, but the chapter before that, I do not understand. I mean, I guess it'll get explained in the next book, but I do not understand how we got there. I need to like do a little recap because the person that suggested that little plot twist, I do not remember what happened to that person in Powerless, but it does not make sense in my head that this is the route we went through. And I think in some part of my mind, I thought this was going to happen based on what I've heard about this one and Fearless. But for me, this does not make sense because based on what Peyton did in Powerless and why, you know, this book is literally in the front says Traitor Tormented. Like, based on what we know, it does not make sense that that is the route we are gonna take. Like, what do you mean? I'm literally, I'm, uh, I'm, I'm, I'm flabbergasted, but not because it was a good plot twist, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess it'll move on the story, but this book, we easily could have not written this book, and I don't mean that to be rude, but this book was unnecessary. I now get it when people say this could have been a duology. It would have been way more better, I think, if we made this into now we made this, but like maybe put some of the things that Kai said in the Fearless book, but literally this had no plot for me. It was just like I said earlier, a cat and mouse game. And every time I say cat and mouse, I just think of hunting and hunting Adeline, but that is not what I'm referring to. But like it was just I escape you, you escape me. Things happen to us together while trying to escape each other, and then we like decide to be a little bit of happy, and then that happiness gets taken from us, and then we throw a plot twist that does not make sense in my head. This, like, I literally have nothing else to say, and this was something. This was there. This did not give me anything aside from the things that Kai said. I literally had no other reaction to this book, and other than the plot twist, but that was because it does not make sense, and I will continue saying it does not make sense. So, we finished our first book of the block. I do not know what I'm gonna pick next. If I want to dive into another fantasy, another romance series, who the hell knows? But I will see you tomorrow to pick our next book. Hi, I am hoping against all hopes that this mic is working right now because I was looking at the footage and I realized that like most of my talking videos about Rebel Witch had no fucking sound. Anyways, I did end up finishing Rebel Witch. I almost couldn't say the word finishing. I finished this book. I think I'm gonna give it like a 3 star. I do not know what rating I'm gonna give it yet. I settled on a 3 star on Goodreads because I enjoyed this one in terms of plot more than Reckless, but I enjoyed Reckless in terms of characters more than this one. I just did not vibe with this that much. I felt like the things were very predictable, and we just had this big ass evil in the story, and we defeated it so quickly. We resolved everything so quickly, and then from you wrote 2 books about witches and them being hunted, and then suddenly
they are not gonna be haunted anymore, and we are gonna be, and we are just gonna live happily ever after all together, and you just decide which side you want to be on, and it's that easy. I mean, I know this is not realistic, but what do you mean? That conflict got resolved so quickly. You are either with us or against us. That is not how it works. That is actually not how politics works. And after 2 books of them being haunted because of the things the witches did to them and the things the hunter did to the witches, you are telling me they are gonna live happily ever after so easily? That like the grudges are not being held anymore, and there is no hate, and everything is just so sweet and happy and funny? No. Also, I said this in a previous video that does not have any sound, but the words he plunged his fingers was written in this book, and I hate it. I hate it, and I hate it so much. Like, what do you mean he plunged? That sounds like it hurts, and it hurts me, and I'm not being in this book. I'm not the main character. It hurts me, and it probably hurts her. Like, that sounds like a 15-year-old boy who does not know what he's doing. Also, can we stop calling enemies to lovers to every single book? Because in Reckless, they are not enemies to lovers, and in this one, they're most certainly not either. Like, they were kissing, they were liking each other from the first book, and probably from the first time they met, and they were saving their each other's lives so much in this book. That is not what enemies does. I want you to hate each other. I want you to probably shoot him. Like, you can shoot him in the head if you want. Hate him. I need you to hate him. I need him to hate her. I need you to try and kill each other every single time you get. Not to save each other. I need you to hate each other. I need you to not to be disgusted. To be disgusted with yourself that you want her, but not admitting that you want her. I need you to bring it the fuck down. And I've been seeing this a lot, just enemies to lovers, and they are kissing 15% in the book. That is not enemies to lovers. You should not even kiss. If it's a series, you should not even kiss in the first book. No, 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 no. You need to kiss in the final book, like in the final scenes. These are not true enemies to lovers. I think they are doing this wrong. I think they are doing this wrong. And I know a lot of people enjoy this, and I might seem like a hater, and I'm talking so real fast because I just hope that this has him, because I don't even know what I said in the previous clips. All I know is in one I spoke only about the phrase he plunged his fingers, because that was truly traumatizing for me to read. And on the other one, I do not know what I read. Oh, I think I was saying that Gideon was annoying me to no end. I don't know. I do not like Gideon. He was just there. He was mid. He was not giving Kai. He was just there. Honestly, he was no. And Rune, I just feel like we didn't get to explore her witch powers that much. She was doing the same spells over and over again, and she was always finding new spell books but never learning anything. And what do you mean you're such a powerful witch and you are not doing anything? Anything. And we got like a big glimpse of something that could have been a good plot point, and then you just drop that bomb and you never pick it up again. You never pick it up again. And everything, just the 2 plot twists in this book feel so predictable. No, I did not enjoy this a lot. I know there was more plot in this one, and I enjoyed that, but I just wish we had more of the witch aspect in this, because I think we got a lot more politics and a lot more on Gideon's side than on Rune's side. But I did not like a lot of main characters. I mean, I like Rune just fine, but Gideon, he was just not given. He was just so mid. He was just there. He was just there. I mean, he plunged his fingers. Do you even know what you're doing? Like, do you even know what you're doing? If you what I'm saying? Anyways, I hope this has sound, because if not, I am going to freaking crawl under my skin and hate myself. Also, I forgot to say, I mean, I did not forget to say, it's just, again, that clip had no sound, but I am gonna read As Chip Parker Doesn't Fail next. This is part of the Lilac Green Doesn't Care trilogy. I don't know how it's called, but this is the second book. And I wanted to save this one for a sapphic reading block, but I realized that my copy of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, that is such a fucking mouthful, it's coming next week. And since that one is sapphic, I can do that in that reading block. And since this is part of a series, I can do this one. So we are reading this next because I need something gay. As a raging bisexual, I need something gay. I need it because I have been reading about two straight couples, and one I hated it, and one, I mean, I did not hate it. I just didn't connect with them. And the second one I loved, but like the story was not giving. So I need this to give me something. I need you to give me something. I want this to be at least 4 stars. So I shall update you tomorrow when I have something to say about this book. Hi, update time. If the camera is moving, it's because it's between my legs. And anyways, I have started our last book of this blog. I think I kind of maybe said it, but I'm like 88 pages into this one. I am so far enjoying it. I love the aspect of the interior designing in this, and the demolition, and the like program being like some, I don't know, like the program where those Stream brothers do something with the houses, it's like that. But I'm liking that aspect. I'm enjoying this one. It is so fun. The tension, the aspect of interior design, it is so fun. And I shall have more updates for you maybe tomorrow. But like, I just wanted to say I'm enjoying this one. It's good so far. Hi, it has been a couple days since I last spoke to you. I have been very busy this weekend, but not that much that I couldn't read because I am almost done with this book. And I just wanted to give a final check in before I officially finish it. I am really loving it so far. I think this is like a solid 4.5. And I'm surprised because one, I didn't know if I wanted to continue this series when I first read Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I think I read that one back in 2021 or something. And it wasn't a success as everyone was. And also I didn't really see great reviews about this one. The people that really loved Delilah Green didn't really love this one. So I was like put up by it. But then one day I was buying books for some other series that I was reading, and I decided to pick this one up. And honestly, it has been sitting in my shelf for like a year or something until I decided right now to pick it up. And honestly, this has been one of the best decisions I have ever made because I am loving it so much. And after having not a great rating system, not rating system, like after not having great ratings for the first two books in this blog, I was a little scared that this one was not gonna hit either. But oh my god, I'm loving this one so much. The way I feel for Astrid, I didn't think I was gonna feel for Astrid because I think I remember that I didn't like her in book one. But when you see her mind and the things that she goes through with her mother is honestly so toxic and she's not great. But you can see why Astrid is still there because she is all her mother has, and her mother is all she has because she went through some things in her childhood and she doesn't have a father. And Delilah and her are stepsisters, but her stepfather also died, so Delilah was engulfed in her grief. So they weren't sisters as they would have been if like those tragic things didn't happen. So all she has is her mom. So we have this kind of dependent relationship because they are all they have. But her mother is honestly the worst, and I just feel for her so much. And I don't know what it is. Like, I am feeling so much for Astrid. I really love her. I really love the aspect of her finding something about herself that, it was something kind of in the back of her mind that she never really thought she could like develop or something. And you just see her finding herself with Jordan. And oh my god, I just love it because their love just seems so pure. And I love the aspect of having another plot in this book, and that is like the program and the designing and renovating. I just love this book so much. I don't know why people don't love it. It is hitting for me. And I just, as I said, like I just feel like they met each other like in the right time, and they are just like completely different from each other, but at the same time like they complement each other so well. And I don't think I have explained this book, what this book is about, but essentially we are following, as you can guess, Astrid. And Astrid is an exterior designer in this small town, but she almost always works with like dentist office and people who really want like modern style things. And so essentially she gets hired to renovate this inn that is really famous in her small town, and it has a little bit of history with, her name is Alice, but I honestly can't remember like the whole history of why it is like this spooky inn and the history of the inn. But it's very important for the town and for Prue, who's like the owner of the inn. And essentially, like she gets hired by Prune, by Prue, not Prune, by Prue, and she gets asked to do something modern because they think that's gonna be what it takes for the inn to like get more clients and everything. But there is also a plot that there is this program, I think it's Inside America. It's a popular HGTV show that is gonna be filming all that renovation so they can get exposure, both the inn and Astrid, because both businesses aren't doing great so far. So they have that, but Astrid isn't expecting Prue's granddaughter Jordan, who is like this carpenter that wasn't like exactly supposed to work in this program, but she has been going through some things, and her brother told her to be like part of the group for this renovation. But Jordan does not like anything that Astrid is suggesting. But Astrid is only doing her job because she got asked to do something modern. But Jordan feels like that isn't her in. And so essentially they have like this little rivalry. And the people of the Inside America show tell them to like lean into that tension that they don't like each other, like the late designer and the carpenter. But in the midst of all that tension, they kind of become friends at first, and you know, they develop a relationship, and it is so good. Honestly, it is so good. I love this book, and I just kind of want to read more sapphic books, not only on Prime Month, but like I really want to read more books. And oh, something I also love about this book is that we see Astrid falling in love with a woman, but she is not defining herself at the moment. Like she is just honestly just living through this experience, and I feel like that is good and important because I think we all just like go so fast to put a label on something. Like if you have been like straight your whole life and you suddenly are attracted to a woman or seeing a woman, and people are just continually ask like, are you gay, are you bisexual, are you pan, are you queer? And honestly sometimes you do not have to put a label on it. You just see who you want to see, be who you want to be with. And I just feel like I have really liked that aspect, that Astrid isn't putting a label on her sexuality. Like she is just who she wants to be, and fuck everyone. And I say like I applaud her because we kind of just want to put a label on absolutely everything, and not everything needs to have a label. But I'm loving this one. Honestly, I need to read more books like this. And also I really like because there have been, well okay, there have been some talks, but Ashley hasn't put a label on anything. But they like are calling like they're calling her bisexual because she has been attracted to men but also women. And I just love when bisexuality is represented in books. I think that is why The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is one of my favorite books, because that is one of the first representations of bisexuality that I saw. And as a bisexual, I just feel like bisexuals are kind of very judged on because they are like, pick a side, like you are either straight or you are gay. And people just can't seem to get into their minds that you can be attracted to both. Like if you are with a man, it does not mean that you are automatically straight, and if you are with a woman, that does not mean you stop being attracted to men and you are only gay. Like you can be both. And I just love this book so much, and I love seeing queer characters and bisexual representation and just every single thing about this book. And honestly, I am living for this, and I have been yapping for such a long while. And this is why my reading blogs end up being an hour long, because I just can't seem to shut my mouth. Anyways, I shall update you when I finish. Hi, ignore the mess, and I am on the floor, but it's just this tripod is a little short, so I can't be like standing on the window. Anyways, as you saw, I finished yesterday. Astrid Parker doesn't fail, and as I said, I am giving this a 4.5. I am so glad I read this last because I just feel like we got a much better rating than I think I would have given it at the start, and I love that we ended up on such a high note. Now, I love the found family in this group. I mean, there was a friend group after, like the couples, but I just feel like the couples just match so well the energy of this whole group, and everyone is different, but they complement each other. Like Iris is like the loud girl, and Claire is like the sweetie pie. Astrid is like a little reserved and doesn't give love like freely, and Delilah is like the friend that will tell you the truth no matter what. And Jordan just matched up a little bit with Delilah, and I just loved so much how these characters just make so much sense to have each other in their life. And I love the romance in this book. Honestly, it hits so well for me, and I know a lot of people didn't really get on with this book, but for me, it was perfect. I read it at the perfect time. I love that we got a little side plot of the program and the interior design and the renovation. And I love the tension leading up to their first kiss and their relationship. Astrid just finding something for herself and finding who she was apart from the person that her mother wanted her to be, and her mending her relationship with Delilah and her mother. Just everything about this book just seemed to hit for me. It wasn't a 5 star, but honestly, very close to it, and I will recommend this one so much. And I kind of want to do a reread of Delilah Green Doesn't Care because this one hit a lot, and I just think that maybe I read the first one like not at the right time, but this one, oh my god, 1,000 times yes, recommend. But let's do a little recap of the books that I read in this blog. As you know, we started with Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is like the third book in the Powerless trilogy, but honestly, it's like the second like full novel because we have a little novella in between this one and the first one. But I ended up giving this one a 2.5. I love our main characters. I love Kai and the way he's so fucking damn romantic. And I love Peyton, but I just feel like this book had little to no plot, and everything was just so repetitive in that aspect because it was just a cat and mouse game. And it didn't give a lot. And honestly, like the romance was good, but I needed more with the plot. And also, I feel like we are just saying always that, oh, they are enemies. But if in the second book they are kissing and proclaiming their love, and after what happened in Powerless, they see each other and they immediately kiss, they are not enemies. They are just on opposite sides of a war or whatever, and they can't find a way to be together, but they are not enemies. And also, the plot twist in this book does not make sense in my head for how this story is gonna be. I don't know how Kai and Peyton are gonna end up together, but leaning like I don't want to spoil anything because this is spoiler free. But like the way Powerless ended, and we know what happened if you have read that book and how we ended up here. But like for The reason that we have this cat and mouse game, the plot twist does not make sense because why would that happen? Considering what Peyton did, that just did not make sense to me. And honestly, I think that's the reason why I rated it so low. And if you see me like leaning stuff, I have the books on the floor and I'm trying to grab them, but it just didn't make sense for me. Then we read Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli, and I gave this one a 3 star. This one had more plot than Reckless, but I'm not as invested in the main characters as I was in the other book. Carlos Tantra, I gave a 4 star when I first read it, but I think that was more like a 3 star, as just like this one. I think they are both 3 stars because I think I liked the first book a little bit more than this, but at the same time, I'm not as invested in these characters. Like Gideon was just there for me. He's nowhere near my favorite MNCs, and honestly, he just kind of gave me nothing. And Rune, I really like her, but I just feel like we didn't get to explore her powers as much as we should have. And we got little sprinkles, however you say that, but we got a little something about what she could do with her power, and then we never brought that up again. And I honestly would have liked to see more of that. And everything was very predictable in this book. As soon as that plot, the this had two big plot twists, and as soon as they were like a little bit mentioned, you knew what was gonna happen. And you know, I just kind of want to be surprised. So this one was a 3 star. I think I'm in the minority with not liking this duology as much as everyone else. But and I talked about this one already, but 4.5. Really love this one. If you want to pick something from this blog, read this series. I mean, if you like sapphic romances, pick this series. But those are the 3 books that we read in this blog. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My socials are always linked down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.